The second Council of Ministers of the year 2022 of the DOGBI team was held on January 20 in Lomé, under the direction of F. Nasingbi, with a menu made of the adoption of 2 draft laws on the political level, the adoption of an innovative decree in the landscape of public media in Togo, or even listening to a communication on financial inclusion in Togo, and especially the new exhortation made to Togolese ministers to improve the consumption of budgetary credits allocated to their ministerial departments. Opposite, the entire official communiqué resulting from this work of the executive. Communiqué from the Council of Ministers of January 20, 2022. The Council of Ministers met this Thursday, January 20, 2022 under the chairmanship of His Excellency 4 Ozimna Nasingbi, President of the Republic. The Council examined 202 draft bills, 101 draft decree and listened to 202 communications. In respect of draft bills, the Council examined and adopted the draft bill amending Law No. 91/04 of April 12, 1991 on the Charter of Political Parties. This draft bill, resulting from the proposals of the National Consultation Between Political Actors, CNAP, aims to adapt the Charter of Political Parties to current realities, in particular better representativeness of the founding members, operational requirements, having a seat and address, holding at least one Congress every 5 years, and financial management accountability. The Council then examined and adopted the preliminary draft law establishing regional territorial communities. This draft law aims to create local authorities, regions managed by elected regional councillors, who will in turn appoint regional executives who will play an important role in local development. The creation of these regional territorial authorities is decisive in the context of the preparation of the regional elections to come. Under the draft decree, the Council examined and adopted the draft decree on the powers, organisation and operation of Togolese radio and television, RTVT. This draft text, which aims to give a new status to the Togolese public audiovisual media in their structure and operation, is part of the objectives of modernising and strengthening the structures of our country in accordance with Axis 3 of the Roadmap. Governmental. It makes it possible to have efficient public media, capable of contributing to the development and participating in the influence of Togo. The adoption of this decree marks a decisive step in the process of transforming the audiovisual landscape of our country. In terms of communications, the Board listened to a communication on the situation of financial inclusion, presented by the Minister in charge of financial inclusion, the organisation of the informal sector. This communication presented our country's performance in terms of financial inclusion. In particular, with regard to expanded banking, i.e. the rate of people with access to a financial service, Togo is, for the second consecutive year, the country in the WEMI zone that shows the highest growth rate. Aware of the challenges that remain to be met in this sector, the government has instructed the continuation of the reforms initiated with the recent adoption of the National Financial Inclusion Strategy in order to achieve the objectives set in accordance with Axis 1 of the Sheet of Government Road. Finally, the Board listened to a communication relating to the due diligence to be carried out in the award and execution of public contracts to accelerate the consumption of investment loans, presented by the Minister of Economy and Finance. The purpose of this communication is to report to the Board on the steps to be taken by members of the government to improve the use of budgetary credits allocated to their department, in particular investment credits. Thereby, it will be necessary to take advantage of the ongoing public procurement reforms to improve the efficiency of public procurement procedures and the monitoring of their execution. Seizing this opportunity, the Council invited the ministers to maintain the level of involvement in order to accelerate the execution of the investment projects, thus making it possible to achieve the development objectives. Done in Lomé, January 20, 2022. The Council of Ministers